He's married. I won last year, and I just don't.
Hello.
I'm with that. Go on ahead.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. If you would please find your seats.
Thank you, bud.
Okay, it's 7:30, so we'll call this meeting to order. Thank you all for who came to the retreat on Saturday. It was super fun to get to hang out with y'all in that environment. If you weren't there, two quick things is that there's going to be dinners before Senate on Mondays, and if you have a really, really long bill, you don't have to read it word for word. And so would anyone like to utilize open forum at this time? All right, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. The minutes were sent out last week on Tuesday. Are there any corrections to the minutes? All right, seeing none, they'll now be marked as approved and corrected. We will now move on to reports from our officers, starting with the president.
Yeah, just a few things for me. The first thing I wanted to bring y'all's attention was something that the SGA story reposted today. It's a play that Bruce Pearl and his wife have moved to promote at the GPAC. It'll be this Wednesday at 10 a.m. We'll meet again. They actually sold out the Wednesday and Thursday night showing. That was supposed to be free for students. So at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, if you don't have class, it's something that you can tell your friends about, but y'all can also go and watch that video for a little bit more what it's about. Another thing is we had the BOT meeting this past Thursday and Friday. The big thing that came out of that was housing improvements on the Haley Concourse, which is huge, especially with the Cambridge situation that a lot of y'all are familiar about, and just Auburn trying to get more beds in general and increase our student experience. And also too, this STEM Ag complex also passed, which will be going up there by education. And the last thing I have for you is homecoming happens this year, so I guess in 3 weeks. Really pay attention to what homecoming looks like and maybe some improvements or some differences that you see. It's a huge effort this year to improve our homecoming experience, and so if you have any feedback about that, there's going to be a poll to go around, but I'd love for y'all to be able to participate in that. But that's it for me.
And now our report from treasurer.
Hey guys. So not much for me. BNF preliminary hearings will take place on this Thursday at 8 p.m. So I'll be able to shed more light on what the budget looks like and the final income as it's approved. As always, if you guys have any questions, please.
Now a report from the chief of staff.
Hey y'all, thank you all for coming out to retreat on Saturday morning. I had a lot of fun seeing all of your faces there. Something that I'm in the midst of right now is planning Better Relations Day, which is going to take place early November. So I know I didn't know what this was until last year, but basically whichever school is hosting the Iron Bowl hosts the other team's SGA that month, if that makes sense. So last year we went to the University of Alabama, so we all might have got to go. This year we're going to host their SGA here. So everyone's going to play a part in this day. I'm just not quite sure what it's going to look like yet. So I just want to go ahead and put that on y'all's radar. And then Aubie is hosting Aubie Committee tomorrow night at 6:30. So if you and your roommates or your friends are looking for something to do, go hang out with them and talk about it. Thank y'all.
Audit committee can also count as one of your involvement hours, but I'll send that out. Next, Maddie.
Hi everyone, love seeing each of you at the retreat this weekend. I hope y'all had so much fun. A few things for me. Just wanted to reiterate our parking downtown, just opportunities for y'all to park if needed. And that is for Wright Street parking deck that has 350 spaces, as well as the service parking along the streets. And both of those are about $1 per hour. So just for y'all to know, there are places to park, because I know that can be sometimes. Payday t-shirt pre-orders will go live next week, so be on the lookout for those. Lobby board applications close this Friday at 4:45, and then we'll have interviews held the next 2 weeks, or in the next 2 weeks. And then there's an international student advisory group meeting that I'll be attending this week. And that pretty much is a group that meets monthly, and they ensure that they're for the welfare of international students. But yeah, if y'all have questions about that, let me know. Hope y'all have a good week.
Next, a report from the Executive Vice President of Initiatives.
Hey guys, happy Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Some updates from initiatives. In academics, we're getting some progress done on our exec goals for advocating for an option for standardization of Canvas pages for students. And then more information upon class registration. And then we're also working on closer relations with the Office of Career Discovery and Success. We have a meeting on Friday with them, the academics team does. And then we're also working on benchmarking and surveys to the student body for the MCAT and DAT prep courses initiative that we're getting going. As far as athletics, it's week 1 versus UMass. Let's go. OSP is all put together, so that's great. On Wednesday, we're having wristband distribution for all organizations involved in OSP from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That is the only time that a member from said organization can come and pick up their wristbands. And then on Friday, we have at 2:15, the athletics team is going to go out and put the labels on the rows, and then at 3 o'clock, we have shaker distribution. As far as campus life, got a meeting with Eric Smith on Thursday to talk about just kind of the semester that lies ahead as far as health and wellness goes for students. And we've also been getting some feedback about dining, which I'll talk about that later. University operations, we're gonna try to put together a plan to start working for more clear communication about minor parking changes that happen before game days, getting that information out to students, and also, like say, if your car's been towed, more information to someone on what the situation is if your car gets towed, something like that. And yeah, that's it for me. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Julian. That concludes our exec reports. We'll move on to committee reports, starting with academic affairs.
Hey guys, not much from academic affairs besides a couple of updates on a couple of things. First being, we finally did set our meeting time. It's going to be at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays. Pray for me throughout this semester, but we're going to figure that out. So we're excited to see what that's going to look and feel like in the mornings. Outside of that, though, this week for me has been like an engineering-centric week. So the college and the dean of engineering kind of reached out to a lot of student leaders within the SGA space and within the college to kind of feel like, how does the holistic approach to improving the academic environment for students in the College of Engineering look? From academic support to D&I programming to, every little piece of what really needs to have a holistic approach. What does that look like? So finding ways to allocate funds and that are really student-centered, that impact them inside and outside of the classroom. Decided to work with Carter to kind of bridge that gap, and I kind of mentioned it to you, and I need to talk to you about it after exec, so we'll talk about that later. So that was really cool. Also, we kind of worked with our cabinet counterparts, figuring out how do we go through all the feedback and assessment that we got earlier on, that follow-up question. So tailoring down the data. Looking like, what are we actually trying to get out of some of this feedback and benchmarking that we're doing with some of our peer institutions. And then I've officially brought them in the loop on the whole entire, hey, let's have class working test outside of class time as far as not beyond homework. So I know you have a lot of people in the College of Business who expressed interest in that last year. So they've eventually been looped in officially, and we're kind of going to work throughout that. That's all from academic affairs.
Next report from Budget and Finance.
Approval of business, the B&F committee will be conducting preliminary hearings this Thursday and Friday. And for those that don't know, this process is simply meeting with each organization to hear about what they need funding for, why they need funding. And so as a committee, our job is to ask intentional questions to make sure that the student activity fees are being used as wisely as possible. And aside from that, we have 2 reserve fund requests and 1 EEF tonight. And because these organizations need these funds this week, I'm going to motion to move PSSB 2308, 28, 03, 04, and 05 from future orders to current orders.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye and raise your hand. All not in favor, please say nay and raise your hand. All right, rules will be suspended. Next report from Code of Laws.
Hearing at large, not a lot from us this week. We have set our meeting time to be 8 a.m. Wednesday, so academic affairs will see y'all after. We also have survey coming related to Miss Homecoming eligibility and how that kind of goes with SGA execs. We're working on that with our cabinet counterparts. Still working on the initiative related to parking fines and community service and how we can make that work, along with impact and cabinet as well. And exciting news, the I voted stickers are in. So those are gonna be here for, and I wish I had them to show to y'all, but they're gonna be used throughout the Miss Homecoming elections. In the code, there are polling stations, and those are really left kind of to the discretion of the executive director of elections. So she's gonna help set where those polling stations will be. But then e-council will pass them out. And basically students just like take a screenshot saying that they voted, or they can pull it up online, whatever that looks like, prove that they voted, and then they get a sticker. And then for the rest of the day, campaigners won't need to approach them or anything, and that just helps kind of set it apart and hopefully make elections a bit of a more pleasant experience. Yeah, we're excited about that. That's it.
Next report from DEI.
Inman business, no report.
And report from Student Affairs.
Building at large. Hope everybody had a great weekend. So a few things today with athletics. We're still in the process of planning a meeting to get the SAAC liaison. Julianne's been super helpful with that. So with dining, we're gathering some feedback on the new dining plan. We have had some negative feedback on it from freshmen, primarily due to the fact that you have to have swipes, and those are not reimbursed if you don't use them at the end of a semester. We have some people, like if you're on a Greek life meal plan, you would get your Greek life meal plan and the dining meal plan, and you wouldn't be able to opt out of that. Then with parking, we have Haley actually had a meeting with Chris Harris this week, and they discussed potentially adding suspicious activity signage with a number to call in Tiger Transit. Basically because a lot of people can just walk on a Tiger Transit without checking an ID or anything. So we want to look into that. Also, Tiger Transit has added a route to account for the students that were displaced with the Cambridge closing, which is huge. And then with housing, I'm sure y'all have seen the early ed buildings across from Haley getting demolished. They're being replaced with a green space that students will be able to use. We're also discussing adding a cleaning system or cleaning supplies for students that use university housing. So they'll be able to have mops and vacuums and those things, and they'll be able to take those if they need them. And then health and wellness, we have a meeting, like Dylan said, this Thursday with Eric Smith to discuss future plans. And then we have a meeting in 2 weeks with Dr. Cam and the med clinic staff to inquire about how we can assist them this semester. So that's all from us. Thank you all.
Consolidated report from the executive committee.
Hey y'all, okay, not much from me. We did only have 17 of y'all fill out that form for office and involvement hours, so I really just ask that y'all please fill that out so that we can keep track of attendance. This week is just gonna be a warning. I'll send you an email. Next week it will start being docked against you for attendance. And along attendance lines, we did have 11 senators say RSVP yes to their retreat and then give no warning and not show. So I just, would ask that y'all respect like Jill's time as she's putting on these events and your constituents' time as they elected you to like be a senator and do your office hour. So, and I really appreciate y'all who have been doing it. Y'all are awesome. So keep it up.
That is the committee reports. We'll move into liaison reports, starting with the honors conference.
Honors Congress. So last week we had our movie night, House of Heroes, and then we had a welcome meeting tonight. This Thursday we're having a back to school photo shoot and something new this year, Sanford sessions, where a group of us is just gonna go hang out on Sanford lawn, and then we're also gonna have a tailgate.
Rule 12 ROTC.
Hey y'all, so with ROTC, we are planning on having a tailgate event coming up for this game with UMass. It's going to be on Saturday. I don't know the exact time yet, but I will try to get it out to y'all as soon as possible, as soon as I figure it out. But I also made a sort of Google forum for ROTC for them to give us any feedback on campus that they wish to see, that they feel like needs to be seen. So the first thing that I've noticed is that a lot of our students said that they feel like the wages that they get, specifically like at Auburn working there, does not match the inflation that's currently happening. So they kind of wish that they could kind of increase the wages if possible, just to be able to, you know, how much money like everything is costing now. It's just not, you know, close to it. Another big thing that people said was that they wish that Auburn would kind of direct more funds with parking to compensate for the increase of students coming here. I know like a lot of it had to go towards, you know, housing and stuff like that because Cambridge, especially with what happened, that they need to focus more on housing and all of that, which is perfectly understandable. However, they feel like because we keep increasing the number of students being admitted here, they feel as though there's not enough parking to actually match the number of students here. And I know a lot of them are actually feel very unhappy that they can't get their parking passes either, especially because a lot of times the parking website, when they tried to get a pass, would crash, so they feel like there should be another way for them to get parking passes. But yeah, and then the last thing is ROTC especially feels like they should have reserved parking, at least more reserved parking specifically in the village, because that's where our Nichols Center is and that's where ROTC meets. They feel that there should be more parking there specifically because of how much ROTC does for Auburn. They feel like it doesn't compensate, and especially for game days, we have to work them, like do flag detail, color guard, concessions. So they feel as though that there should be parking, even if not like in general, especially for game days, just so that they don't have to find parking anywhere else and have to like pay for parking and like that for a thing that they have to do. So, but yeah, that's all.
And then report from BSU.
CSU. So we have transfer committee and freshman committee applications due September 1st. And I know y'all have like freshman forum applications, but I wanted to let y'all know that if you do know of any freshmen that like apply to freshman forum, but also are interested in freshman committee, they can be in both. We've had people that are in both, like we work with their schedule with those, so that's like not an issue at all. And then we do a lot of mentorship with them, so they will get paired up with an older person, senior or junior in the organization. And so we're kind of just honing in on those leadership skills, building those leadership skills as freshmen so that they're able to get, you know, higher positions as they go on and kind of like thrive at their time at Auburn. So if you know any freshmen, please encourage them to apply. Like I said, the deadline is September 1st. And then we had our retreat yesterday in the Student Center. It was a lot of fun, but we also did get a lot of work done. So we'll be having more updates on the things that we worked on and talked about coming soon. And then Tiger Stomp is on November 3rd. And I really hope to see a lot of y'all out there. We did have our Unity Yard Show this past Friday in the Floyd Auditorium. And that was great, but Tiger Stomp is kind of one of those really big events that NPHC throws, and then BSU will be helping a lot with that. So if you have some free time that day, please come. It's a great experience. It's a great time. We're going to have a lot of different people from different schools come, and so it's just gonna be a lot of fun, so hope to see y'all there. And then the last thing, the Wednesday before our 60th tailgate that I talked about last week, we're planning a Black-owned business fair with some local businesses in the Auburn Athletic area. And we're gonna have karaoke, and it's gonna be on Wednesday, so please come out to that as well, because that'll be a lot of fun, learn about some Black-owned businesses and kind of support them.
Well, then that concludes our liaison reports, and now we'll move on to current orders, starting with PSSB 2308, 2803.
Approval of business, ask for approval of the following. The allocation of $500 from the reserve fund to the line item entitled SAO Partnership Event of the student organization's budget. The requested funds would apply free admission to students that attend the salsa dancing event. Move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now it is moved and seconded to adopt the bill. Is there any debate? Seeing no debate, we'll move into a vote, and y'all can vote on the canvas quiz. The ayes have it, and this bill will be adopted as written. We'll now move on to the next current order of business brought to you by Senator Tribble.
Ask for approval of the following, the allocation of $750 from the reserve fund to the line item entitled College of Liberal Arts Student Council Organizational Mixer of the Student Government Association budget. The requested funds would provide catering, stock, and rum and tablecloths from the venue that will fill 5 Navy and 5 orange balloons, 2 balloon weights, and a case of water bottles. Pass this bill as written.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any debate? Seeing no debate. Y'all can vote. I just published it. Ayes have it, and this bill will be adopted. Now the final current order of business brought to you by Senator Tribble.
Ask for approval of the following, the allocation of $1,100 from the program expansion fund to the line item titled Senate and sub-line item titled Docu-Free of the Student Government Association budget. The requested funds would be directed to the Senate line item and the SGA budget to pay for increased costs in the Docu-Free contract. The service is essential to maintain SGA's archives and is frequently utilized by SGA officers and administration. Move to pass this bill as written.
Is there a second? Motion is moved and seconded. Is there any debate? Seeing no debate, y'all can vote. Okay, the ayes have it, and this bill will be adopted. Next in order is future orders of business, and we'll start back up with PSSB 23082801.
Morning, COSAM asks for approval of the following in the following sections in the Code of Laws table on contents in sections shown here. I propose that the term school or schools be amended to college or colleges to reflect the decision made at the March 2023 meeting that officially made the schools on Auburn's campus renamed to colleges.
Are there any questions on this future order? Next future order of business, this bill is brought to you by Senator Herring.
Hearing at large, I ask for approval of the following. For the line 1012.2, students must have no holds in the Auburn University registration system in order to be eligible to vote, be struck from the code.
Are there any questions on this future order? Right, seeing none, that concludes future orders. Now we'll go into announcements. Remember that lobby board applications are open until this Friday, so if y'all know anyone. Also, we don't have school on Monday, so that means we won't have Senate on Monday. We will be doing Senate over Teams, Microsoft Teams. So if you don't have Teams, please download it. And there won't be a set meeting time. We'll just pass the future orders. Sounds good? Okay, any questions?
Just have an announcement when you're done.
Okay, wait, okay. All of your office hours need to be into Lucy by tonight. Please make your office hours and submit them to when they're gonna be so we can let your colleges know when you're gonna be collecting feedback. Again, I'll send out the events that are considered a part of your involvement hour, but if you have another one that comes up, let me know and Lucy and I can approve it. Jamie?
Hey y'all, I just had a really quick reminder, I guess. It is game day this week, so if y'all would please remind your friends, your organization members, your roommates, your classmates to make sure they have their Tiger card already downloaded onto their phone. That's gonna make their game day go a lot easier, and it's gonna make stadium staff's game day go a lot easier. I know a lot of you in here have seen a game day or two, so if someone needs help, please just help them out. So we don't have a line going from the student gates all the way back to the edge, because that wouldn't be fun for anybody, right? Remind people to get in there early, stay all the way to alma mater, and also if there are any questions regarding like penalty points, because there always are, right? The first couple of games are kind of wonky. Please be sure to direct them to the OSP team over Dylan's team on the cabinet side. But also, if you're kind of a seasoned game day professional and you kind of know how it works, be sure to be giving them the most up-to-date information. And if you have questions, again, turn to the OSP team. But all in all, be safe, drink a lot of water, and be smart.
Also, since we're not meeting next week, the next time that we will all be in the room together is homecoming week. So just be prepared for that. Also, be prepared that we've talked about having a t-shirt drive after campaign week, so just keep that in the back of your mind and for campaign shirts. And War Eagle, keep up the good work.